Mike, hello, and thanks very much for being here with us today. My name is Utku. I work for PI Works and responsible with business development activities, and Mike was very kind to join us today in this fireside chat. And throughout the day, we have listened to very brilliant sessions. Many experts talked about the evolution of telco in the AI world. We talked about cloud, challenges, advantages, architectural aspects. But there's one certain puzzle, always in the middle, is the customer itself. And they simply don't care. The people on the street just don't care about the architectures, the daily operational hassles that you encounter with. So they just want to maybe find the quite fine balance between what they pay for and what they get from the networks and what they feel from that network experience. And today, again, thanks very much for being a part of this conversation. And maybe I would like to ask you how do you find the gap between, how do you find AI will reshape the gap between the network performance and how networks actually work and what customers actually feel and experience?
Cool. Thanks for having me today. I'm Mike Thompson. I'm Head of Mobile Access Strategy for VMO2. I think to answer your question, we've been on a journey at VMO2. I've been responsible for the Mobile Transformation Programme, which fundamentally addresses how we work, how we perform, and how we deliver our customer experience. And AI is very much at the heart of that, about how we modernise and how we transform as a business. I think that there is an element where we can harness AI not only within the RAN, AI for the RAN, but also to increase productivity. But I think there's a bit of a fundamental shift, particularly within the Mobile Transformation Programme. As you've mentioned, there's been an awful lot of talk about architectures and capabilities. But I think one of the most important pieces is that you have process transformation that goes alongside it, as well as organisational transformation. The technology itself will not fundamentally transform your business unless you change with it. And it is a real transformational capability. I think building out on top of that, we also see AI from a customer perspective. Agents can serve up various recommendations. It's part of people's daily lives. It's being involved in bundles and the things. So I actually see a lot of disruption in there. Whereas for us as an operator, I think we could harness AI to allow us to communicate to our customers in a much more personalised way, inform them about the improvements that we're making to the network to help really build that customer trust and advocacy so that when they get serviced with a recommendation, they're being able to make more informed decisions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So I think the connection between that gap is getting more complex and complex as the networks become more layered with more underlying technologies. So where do you see the role of independent AI and automation SMEs while delivering the best possible outcomes for your customers?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I think at VMO2 we deal with multiple technologies, multiple bearers, multiple vendors, even multiple networks, as well as network sharing on top. So I don't think there is I think the independent partners like PI Works are key to helping us sort of tackle that. It's not a problem we can solve by ourselves or with one silver bullet. I think as you've seen, we've sort of been sunsetting our network. So I think for us as an industry, tackling some of that complexity and getting it out by shutting 3G is key. But then using AI on our 5G network, because we've got the UK's biggest 5G SA network, and also with the non-terrestrial network with O2 satellite and Starlink, we need AI to manage all of that complexity because it's not just all that customers, wearables, the number of connections and that complexity needs to be offset because our workforce isn't going to grow exponentially. So to deal with all that, we need AI to pick up that workload for us.
Yeah. And I think in the previous panel, your colleague Sam also mentioned about taking action.
Yeah.
So from customer experience perspective, where do you see the transition towards insight to an action-taking network?
So I think right now we're fortunate to be in a fairly highly automated network, as you know firsthand. So we already take, and I think one of the previous, I think it was Damien mentioned about predicting interactions, it just becomes a report if you don't take action. We take tens of thousands of automated decisions and changes on the network every single day, so that there is that consistency within the customer experience. It's really, really important that we are there for the customer. That's the whole point of it, is that you deliver consistent customer experience that really builds that trust. Now, for us to sort of go beyond that, again, building out from what Sam says, I think one of the biggest challenges is around that data modernization and building those data frameworks. Telco, it's not unique to VMO2, it's consistent across the industry, that we need to modernize both our data and our data infrastructure to really harness the power of it. And then once you've got the confidence in the data, I think it's then moving from a customer experience perspective, not just focus on that, but then into non-sort of customer network-related insight and blending that together to get really, truly customer-centric outcomes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. So my last question would be about when you look at your automation journey from a more reactive operations towards a more predictive one, how important you believe is operating a self-managing network, maybe ultimately an autonomous network in the goal, so when it comes to delivering the consistent customer experience for your end users?
So I think it's absolutely essential. I mean, it's a journey we've been on for a number of years, not just through the mobile transformation program. Like I say, we've lived with a highly automated network, and we've got ambitions to go further. I think the first thing is obviously continually in this program of data modernization and process simplification. That is really, really key. But then I think we then start to go for training some of the models and getting the layers right that allow us to spot the patterns and then start moving from reactive to more predictive-based interactions on the network. But I think we're very much on that journey towards that. So, and that only ends in good outcomes for our customers.
Thank you very much for sharing your valuable opinions, Mike. It was really a pleasure for me to be talking to you here on the stage. And thanks very much for everyone for listening to us.
Do you want to have any questions?
Do you have any questions for either myself or Mike? I think no. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.